Hey there, everyone, and welcome to this week's energy forecast. I'm Rachel Thompson Phillips, the creator of the BEYOU Oracle Cards and also of the Sacred Oracle online program. This week's energy forecast is for July the 4th through till July the 10th. So let's go in and see what cards are coming up for this week's energy. So we have a lot going on at the moment with so many planetary things occurring, and sometimes just having a little bit of a guidance tool being, i.e. the oracle cards, can give us a bit of an opportunity to look at what type of energy is playing out and how to navigate that. So let's check it out. The first card, Monday and Tuesday, is contentment. Wednesday through till Friday is the card of transformation. And the third card for the weekend is trust is the key. So with the very first card of contentment, there is this whole new type of energy that is really filtering through at the moment. The card that it says there, it says you have reached a whole new stage in your life where you are peaceful, the soul can soar and the heart is free. The energy that's coming through currently at the moment is this really nice stillness, and yet a lot of the times people can feel that in that stillness, especially if you're used to operating from the fight or flight or busyness or the hustle, you're going to find this energy a little bit conflicting, because you're going to be expecting to be like, I've got things to do and I have to do this, and all of a sudden when that energy dissipates and you're just left in the stillness, it can feel a little bit confronting. So this is a really good opportunity to, if you're finding that that energy is occurring for you, to look below the surface to see what's actually going on, because your soul is actually bringing in this gorgeous energy of peacefulness and stillness. But if your nervous system is not adapting to that, it will then find things to keep you busy. So this is a really good time that if you are someone whose nervous system does operate from anxiousness, needing to get things done, this is a really good time that when you notice any physiological changes, like if your heart is racing, you're finding yourself in a stage of busyness, this is a really fabulous time to just sit. And when you recognize that occurring within you, just go, it's okay that I feel this way. So Monday and Tuesday is the card of contentment, in remembering that your soul is encouraging you to sit in that stillness, because in this stillness is where we receive more intuitive information. Whereas if you stay in the busyness, you're operating from old patterns, and your soul is wanting you to break that, which is why the card of transformation comes through from Wednesday through to Friday. There are all these beautiful shifts occurring within you through Wednesday through till Friday. So you may even start recognizing now that you're starting to become more aware of patterns, old cycles, old types of conditioning, and that being coming in through really clearly to then consider what the opposite is, which is, do I enjoy being this way? Do I want to continue living my life from that energy? And a lot of the time when the transformation card comes through, it's the answer to that is no. It's about creating those changes and knowing that at that moment that there can be a bit of a resistance that occurs. And it's the resistance that lets you know that ego is starting to fall away. So if you recognize and become aware that when you are making changes in your world and transforming different areas of your life and you're met with resistance, remember to keep on going with what you're doing, because in that given moment, you're given the opportunity to step back into the old wiring in your nervous system, to go back to old patterns and conditions, or continue forward and build more strength on the changes and transformations that you're wanting to see in the world. And slowly the old starts to disappear and all your focus can go on there. So remember, if you found that you're met with resistance through Wednesday through till Friday, that's a perfect time of letting you know that's that decision-making process. Do you keep going with the new, or do you fall back into the old? Which then leads us forward to the weekend's message being about trust is the key. It's trusting that everything is unfolding exactly how it is supposed to. It is about remembering that there is divine timing, and that even though The message that's coming through this week, really big and clear, is that don't get stuck in the details of everything. Take a step back and have a look at what it is that you're wanting to co-create for your life. And so this week's overall theme, which comes through, is what was it? It's look before you leap. Look into the details of what's coming up before you make a decision to just leap in and decide, oh, I want to change this and I want to do that. Because remember, sometimes that can be operating from old patterns. Whereas if you give yourself an opportunity to step back and observe what's going on, 9 times out of 10, you're going to make a different decision. And even if you do make the same decision, you're going to be doing it from a different energy space. So trust is the key, is knowing that intuitively you're being guided exactly where you need to be, and do the things that you need to do in order for the things that you want to show up to appear. So trusting that intuitive guidance. Another message that comes through really clear around this week's energy is being okay with the unknown. When you have cards that show up like contentment, transformation, and trust is the key, this also gives me a really wonderful indication that there's got to be a lot of the unknown, and it's in that moment, in the unknowingness, that tends to freak people out, because they have to know what they're doing or where they're going or what the next step is. Sometimes we're given these moments to just pause, to be able to reflect and see what's going on before you take the next step. So that's why this week's overall theme is look before you leap, pause before you make decisions. Therefore, you can start co-creating exactly what it is that you want through the decisions that you're making. So this week is such a powerful time for change and transformation, and starting to really understand that you really do get to weave in the magic of what it is that you want to show up in your life through every decision, through every action. And you're going to find you're going to be making lots of different, maybe potentially different decisions. So follow that intuitive guidance. Trust that this information that's coming through, that's leading you towards taking different steps, is perfectly aligned for the bigger picture. That's why we're getting an opportunity to stand back and observe what is going on around us before just leaping in and making decisions. So it's a really big transformative week around creating the change that you want to see show up in your world. And it all begins with how you show up, how your energy shows up. So this will be a time where there's going to be a lot of time to checking in with yourself and reflecting on where you've been, where you are now, where you want to go. And where you want to go is derivative of what you do now. So pause before making big decisions, and even little decisions, any decision that you're sort of thinking, I'm not sure if that feels aligned with me anymore. And if it feels that way, then there's a different opportunity available to you. And even if, say, given in that moment that you don't receive the information straight away, remember, this is the one key thing I want you to remember when manifesting and wanting to create a different life for yourself. 9 times out of 10, as humans, we will manifest down here at this level, and our soul and the universe wants us to manifest at this level. So what you can say to bridge that gap and to declare to your, what I call your cosmic team, that you're open to that awesome stuff, even if you don't know what that is, that unknown sector, to be able to declare, I would love to receive this or something better that aligns with my soul's mission. That way, through that last statement of this or something greater, is declaring that, okay, this is all you can see, but you're open to way up here. And it's a really great statement to get into the practice of saying, so that what you're doing is aligning yourself with that next version of self and tapping into that higher version, or more, not so much higher version, but that version of self that has so much more wisdom and so much trust and so much more confidence in themselves. Whereas where you are is here, and we want to be able to bridge that gap and move into it. So I hope you all have an amazing week, and that this resonates with you. Don't feel free to leave a comment and let me know how this is connecting with you. Otherwise, much love. Take care, and I'll see you again next week.